Hey, 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 happy Tuesday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 and happy holidays. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, amazingly enough, thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. So welcome aboard. It is Tuesday, December 29th, 2020. This is live stream number 596. Closing in on 600 pretty fast. If this is your first time visiting, let me just welcome you aboard. Thanks for coming by, hanging out. It's pretty casual around here. We just pretty much talk about tabletop gaming news. Every once in a while, a little bit about PC gaming like we shall tonight. But for the most part, it's just talking about tabletop gaming. So if it's going on your tabletop within reason, we are talking about it here. Of course, if you are a longtime viewer, thank you for coming back and visiting once again. That is always appreciated as well. I do want to remind you, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. If you do subscribe, ding that bell, because it will not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live, it'll also inform you when I upload other videos, such as tonight's review of Warhammer 40K Roleplay Wrath and Glory from my friends over at Cubicle 7 Entertainment. Yes, my review will be up later on this evening for Wrath and Glory. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. And do also want to remind you that if you are watching live, chat is available. It's a live stream, so chat's available on YouTube. So if you want to say howdy, maybe you've got a question, a comment, by all means, chime in. I will do my best to respond. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay, but I do my best to pay attention to chat. So it does sometimes zip by pretty quickly, but I do my best to at least say hello to everybody who pops in. So first out the gate tonight was Clint Gibson saying hello. A grade A is with us in chat as well tonight. Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. So got a good sprinkling of news tonight that we will jump into in just a little bit. First off, I had to laugh because I wanted to mention, actually, Grade A's pointing something out that is already in my news tonight. It is my 5th news piece. So Grade A's jumping the gun on the news already. Well, yeah. A Grade A should have his own stream if he's going to be doing this in chat. But yes, it is something that definitely caught my eye too, so I'm going to share that a little bit later on in the news. As I see Dan from No Enemies Here has arrived. It's popped in. Good to see you, everybody. Since I've got the 3 people in chat so far are all part of the Gaming Gang auction that took place, those boxes are going out tomorrow. So they are scheduled for pickup. And of course, tonight, we got a good amount of snow. It's still coming down a little bit out there, but we are supposed to get about a half a foot. So I was like, oh, well, okay then. All right. Anywho, Flaming Huron's in chat with us as well. Anyway, before I jump into the news, I wanted to mention that I thought it was kind of funny. Jim Belushi, yes, that Jim Belushi, on Twitter had tweeted out asking for people to recommend anime for him because I guess he's done some voices for anime. I guess he's done some voiceover, and he said, "Hey, he's like, this is really cool stuff." So I actually tweeted out my recommendation, Planet ES, which is from Sunrise. It's about 15 years old, but I love that. I love that anime. It's one of my all-time favorite animes. Love the animation as well. I think the animation is really top-notch. And if you are not familiar with the anime, and I have mentioned it in the past, but if you are not familiar with it, it's essentially, it's set in the near future, and the main characters are actually trash collectors in space. But it's actually much more serious than it sounds, although there's a lot of lightheartedness to the show as well. But there's like real hard science, and the technology is realistic and stuff. Really, really love that. So a Grade A says the Bandai YouTube series Obsolete is good and free. Last I saw, I thought, now this is a few years ago, I thought you could actually see Planet ES. That it was, I think it was available for free. And I think it was on YouTube. I don't know. I know, you know what? It was kind of funny. It was really, it was critically acclaimed, and people who saw it really dug it, but it wasn't super popular. And I was like, huh, that's kind of weird. So Dan from No Enemies Here is asking, what's it called? It's called Planet. I believe it's actually supposed to be pronounced like Planetes or something like that, but in essence, it is Planet ES. So, but yes, definitely check that out. It was funny because way back in the day, I used to get my hands on what are known as fan subs. And I got, I think, if I remember right, I think Planet ES is 26 episodes. I think like the first 15 or so that I had somebody loan me were fan subbed by a particular person or a group, whatever, release group, whatever, right? And it was great because not only did you have the English subtitles, but if you are not like hugely invested in anime, which I am not. I mean, I recognize certain tropes, certain memes, certain representations in animes, but you know, if the like minor villain has blue hair, that's supposed to mean something. I don't know what it means. But it was very cool because you would get these little, almost like little pop-ups that didn't take away anything from the viewing experience, but it would pop up and it would tell you, oh, that's what this is. That's what this is. Just like Japanese companies all tend to have like little mascot characters, and I forget they have a name, and they mention that name, and then a little pop-up says, oh, these are the mascots for companies. It's like, thought that was fantastic. And then they stopped doing the fan sub for that. So like, I think it was like the last, I don't know, 10 episodes were just, someone else doing it. It was just, subtitles, which was fine. But I was like, oh, I missed those little nuggets of info that would pop up. And Dan said, one of my son's favorite anime, which is, did I miss it somewhere? I have no idea. So Malwinius from York has arrived, and he's talking about, sounds like the Planetes or Planet ES, whatever, anime Yep, that is what I was talking about. Now I don't know if Melwidius came in like after the fact when I mentioned the title of it or not. So so Dan says that's actually his son's favorite anime, or one of his sons. Yeah, it's great. It really is. And it's got a sweet story to it. It's got a serious story to it. There's some lighthearted comedy to it as well. It's just, in my opinion, it is one of my all-time favorite animes, and that's why I recommended it to Jim Belushi. Not that he's going to see it, but I was like, what the hell? All right, let's jump on into the news, because as I mentioned, I got a good mixture tonight, because arriving in early 2021, maybe next month, in January, maybe a little later, it is from Breaking Games, and it's Dwellings of Eldervale, which I swear I'm going to mess up the title on this because my brain doesn't want to say that. My brain wants to say something else. But I've got the dope on Dwellings of Eldervale. Dwellings of Eldervale is an epic worker placement game set in a once lost magical world. Giant elemental monsters roam while dragons, wizards, and warriors battle for dominance over 8 elemental realms. Players control unique factions seeking to adventure, battle, grow in power, and ultimately dwell see, I knew I was going to say it wrong. Eldervale. I keep wanting to say Everdell. It's not Everdell, Jeff. Stop. I don't know what ultimately dwell would mean. And funny thing is, this is an English language company. I think they're out of New Jersey. Anyway, you will ultimately dwell Eldervale, shaping it to your vision. Dwellings of Eldervale blends worker placement, area control, engine building, and unique worker units. Players take turns placing a worker in Eldervale or regrouping and activating their tableau of adventure cards. Action spaces include realms key to power, a summoning portal, an ancient mill. Ooh, the ancient mill. The Lost Fortress, deep dungeons, and a crumbling mage tower, and the elemental lands of earth, air, fire. Earth, wind, fire, baby. Oh, no, they don't say. Nope, that would be air. Water, light, dark, order, and chaos. Those are all the elements. Order is an element? Okay. Magic cards grant spells, quests, and prophecies to players. In the end, the players with the most dominance among the multiple paths to victory will reign over Eldervale. I gotta be honest, I don't know about this game. So what I've done, now this successfully kickstarted a while ago. It is like on the slow boat from China, I believe. But I'm going to share the Kickstarter video because from what I've read and what I'm showing you, this is like one of the hottest games out there. And I don't know why. So let's take a look at this video. It's not real long. It's a little less than 2 minutes. And maybe somebody out there can help me out and tell me why this game is so hot. Let's take a peek.
Long ago, there was a thriving kingdom of sprawling cities, breathtaking landscapes, and unparalleled magic, known as Eldervale. The portal has been opened, and any faction representing the elements may appear. Fire and water, earth and air, order and chaos, light and darkness. We are not alone. Giant elemental beasts still lurk in these forgotten lands. Dwellings of Eldervale is a worker placement tableau building area control game for 1 to 5 players. You'll have unique workers and player faction abilities at your disposal. Each time you play, the game will be different. Points are scored in a variety of ways. Elemental power is the key multiplier. Settle the land, building dwellings in the realms to gain elemental power and other advantages. Go on fantastic adventures, earning power and unlocking great combo play. Cast magic spells and fulfill great prophecies. Epic adventure awaits you. Dwellings of Eldervale is ready.
Dwellings of Eldervale is for 1 to 5 players, ages 14 and up. Plays in around 60 to 120 minutes. It's going to be available in 3 editions. There's a standard edition, which carries an MSRP of $99.99. There's a deluxe edition, which carries an MSRP of $149.99. And there's also a legendary edition, which carries an MSRP of $199.99. And I have no idea what that blast in audio was at the end of that video. I was looking at my audio levels, my sound levels, and all of a sudden it just blasted up there. I was like, what the hell's that? What's going on here? So, before we dive into this, let me point out that Kabuki Kid is in chat. Double K's in the house. So's Doug Roberts. Hey, I think this is Doug Roberts' first visit. Hey, so welcome aboard, Doug. I'm kidding. Those of you who watch the show know dummy me. It's like Doug tends to pop in from time to time, and I'm like, hey, I think this is your first visit. It's like, no, it is not my first visit, dummy. All right, anyway. So before we jumped into that Kickstarter video, I was mentioning, I don't know why this game is so hot. This game is I don't know. Everybody's talking about this game. It is number 2 or 3, I guess, on Board Game Geek's hotness, which in my opinion doesn't mean anything. But the designer of the game, it's not as if they've got a track record of big, wow, whoa, epic games that blow you out of the water. I think one is a kind of energy game. Forget what it's called. It's not Power Grid or whatever it was. And then I think another one is Whistle Stop or something like that. It's I don't even think it's a real heavy 18xx game either. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. And for me, $100 for a board game, it's got to have something that's jumping out at me saying, oh yeah, you want to play. I think the thing that really throws me off, and it's one of the upcoming images here, is it's almost like a hexagonal, and maybe it's for the different elements or something, and there's just these tokens that are on it, and it's kind of huh? What is that? I understand right there. You can see it. It's towards the right. It's kind of the main thing in that image. I'm like, what is that? God, that's not jumping out at me. I don't know. Game could be fantastic. I am not trying to dissuade anybody from checking this out. I was wondering if I saw a great mentioned the same thing in chat. They don't understand why this game is so hot either. I don't know. I don't know. All right, moving right along. Let's talk about a game that I'm pretty sure most people aren't familiar with. It is from DTDA Games, which I am not familiar with them. They are a French company, and it's called Ephemeris. Here are the details. Ephemeris is a strategy game set in a Uchronic age of exploration. From 2 to 4 players, the game has, I guess it's supposed to be 4 2 to 4 players. Once again, it's a French company. Some translation issues with this sell sheet info here. It is for, let's say, 2 to 4 players. The game has 3 modes: highly competitive duel, 1 versus 1, a collaborative team mode, 2 versus 2, and a free-for-all mode, everybody versus everybody. I also understand, and it's not in this sell sheet info, I think there's also a cooperative mode where all 4 players can cooperate together. Regardless, guided by this thirst for exploration that the Earth has never been able to quench, the empires, mastering navigation by the stellar winds, deploy on the celestial vault. Each of them wants to establish its sovereignty over the territories of the firmament. Fleet commanders extract and trade valuable resources, firing cannon shots to impose your supremacy. You launch your fleet to conquer the unexplored planets, unless you belong to the ones that avoid confrontation. Either way, hold your colors and lead your nation to the celestial domination. Once again, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Those sentences together. Ephemeris is for, once again, 2 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, plays in 30 to 40 minutes. And it's carrying an MSRP of $45. And this is supposed to be making its way. Actually, this is the game that's making its way into stores right now. I think Dwellings of Eldervale is actually coming out in the summer. I think I've superimposed these two. But this could be kind of interesting. Now, I have conflicting information. I've heard through one distributor that this is a brand new game. This game has never been out before. And then I think Board Game Geek indicates that this game is from 2018. So I don't know. I have no idea. This could be kind of interesting. Then it could be a tremendous flop. I don't know. All right, so Grade A's talking about the designer of the Dwellings of I wanted to say Everdell again. It's just another game title that doesn't roll off the tongue. Dwellings of Eldervale. Just like even the last part, the Eldervale, you want to say Elderdale. Or at least I do. Anyway, but it was Whistle Mountain. That's it. Thank you, A Grade A. And A Grade A says it's supposed to be very good. Yeah, I think it's gotten some fairly decent reviews. It is not a game that I'm familiar with. Well, I think I did a news piece on it once, and that's about it. But once again, like I said, I don't know. I don't know. There's nothing in that designer's background that, like, I sit there going, wow, yeah, he's got a track record of designing big epic games. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see. When it comes out, we'll see what happens. See if it's another one of these games where all they can do is talk about it, talk. And then it comes out and it's like, Just like, I'll be the first one to mention Alien Frontiers. Everybody went bananas over Alien Frontiers. And both Elliot and I received review copies. Once again, this is early in the run for the Gaming Gang. And we both played it with 2 different groups, and both were kind of like, yeah, it's all right. was like, what is everybody going nuts about with this? Everybody's got their own thing. All right. The 15 days of free PC games is beginning to wind down over at the Epic Games Store, but still time to score freebies. And today's freebie is Solitarica from Righteous Hammer Games. I love the name of that company, Righteous Hammer Games. Here's a skinny. Solitarica takes RPG combat and challenging roguelike progression to a fresh new place, the world of solitaire. I don't know if I'd call that a fresh new place. It's solitaire. Gather your weapons and prepare to battle the armies of Stuck. In the land of Myriad, all of the hearts have been stolen by the horrible Emperor Stuck, and you are the latest warrior brave enough to try to return them, saving the world from total heartless destruction. With the guidance of the great Kismet, who will teach you the power of solitaire and the 4 great energies, attack, defense, agility, and willpower to battle your enemies, you could finally be the one to save the realm. Each player's journey will be a unique challenge with a horde of ever-changing enemies and a wide variety of items and spells to explore. Battle your enemies with brute force or cleverly constructed builds with devastating combos, and defeat the Emperor Stuck. There is a very short video. It's not even a minute. So we will kick back and we will take a look. Solitarica is absolutely free over at the Epic Games Store until 10 a.m. Central Time tomorrow morning, when we will get another new freebie. If I remember correctly, I think the freebies run through New Year's Eve. I do not believe there is a free game on New Year's Day. I might be wrong, but I believe that will be the last one. I gotta say, pretty impressed so far by what the Epic Game Store has rolled out as free PC games during this promo. Because for one, I really assumed that we would see stuff that came out like for free before. And we've seen, I think, 1 or 2 releases during the run up to 15. But they were actually really good. So like, Darkest Dungeon was one, and which I love that game. I think that game's fantastic. Very difficult, very grindy, the original way it was designed, but they have kind of given some other options where you don't have to do the just massive grinding at the end to complete it. So I believe I may have forgot to say hello to Flaming Huron, who has been in chat. So if I did forget, howdy, howdy, howdy. So Grey Day says, yeah, Ephemeris came out in 2018. It was at Spiel in 2019, and an expansion was released for it. All right, so it's coming back to print. It has been out of print, or maybe it has not been in North America. So that's a possibility as well. So that is hitting stores. It's supposed to arrive this week. That's according to distributors. That does not always mean it'll be in stores this week. So, So, what is the Uber? Okay. So, any opinions on Gale Force 9's Aliens game? From Malwinius is curious. They are tempted. Kabuki Kid says she's uber tempted as well. You know what? I'm kind of curious too. Grady's like, yeah, our stimulus won't be in stores this week either. Yeah, we're not going to go there. We're not going to talk about that. Oh, okay. So Flaming Heron says, yeah, Jeff, you said hi. Sometimes, I'm busy focusing on the news pieces and that, and it's like, did I say hello to so and so? I better say hello again because I don't want to be rude to anybody. That's why I really wanted to welcome Doug for the first time visiting the show tonight. Yeah. All right. So let's get back to some tabletop gaming news because there is a new bundle of holding. In fact, there are two new bundles of holding which have launched. They both feature the classic GDW role-playing game Traveler and its little black books. I'm going to give you the scoop on the main offer. Traveler! We've resurrected both of our 2015 offers of the classic Little Black Books from the golden age of Traveler, the original science fiction tabletop role-playing game. Together, these two bargain price offers give you PDF ebooks of all 50 plus rulebook supplements and adventures published as half-size manuals with elegant black covers by Game Designers Workshop from 1977 through 1982. This first offer, the Traveler it's LBB-1. Was that a droid? LBB-1, come on, hurry up. Close those blast doors. Anyway, the Traveler LBB-1 bundle resurrects the June 2015 collection with all the rule books and many important supplements. If you're new to Traveler, start here. For just $6.95, you get the revived LBB-1 starter collection with 8 PDFs, carrying a retail value of $33, including the 3 original Traveler basic rule books in their corrected 1981 editions, several supplements, maps, useful forums, and much more. If you pay more than the threshold price of $17.24, you'll also get this LBB-1 Revivals bonus collection of 11 more titles with a retail value of $38, including the indispensable Mercenary and High Guard rulebooks and the rarely seen Lightning-class cruisers. To complete your collection of Little Black Books, you'll also want the December 2015 Traveler LBB-2, totally different droid, revival now in progress with nearly 3 dozen more supplements and adventures. These are 2 separate offers. These savings will run through January 18th. 10% of your payment after payment gateway fees will be donated to Direct Relief. Direct Relief is the charity that a lot of the bundles of holding benefit. So they are doing pandemic-related work as well. So if you have ever been curious about the original Traveler, and I had the little black box, I had the 1981 set that when it came out, and if you've ever been curious about the Game Designers Workshop edition of Traveler, jump aboard. I mean, because really with the 2 offers, and I think the pricing for the other bundle is about the same, but for around $40, you can pretty much get the PDFs of everything that was released by GDW for Traveler. So pretty sweet deal. I have a soft spot for Traveler. It's another game that I had tons of books for. I had all the variations of it. I had Mega Traveler and Traveler 2300 and never actually played it or ran it. Tried running Traveler's newest 2nd edition Mongoose Traveler with my nephew and his girlfriend and Elliot's son, who's like 30. And my nephew and his girlfriend were like, nah. So I was like, So Grade A says the 3 books on drive-through are $20. Yes. So for PDFs, so it's a sweet deal. Normally what you'll see, it's not always, but it's a lot of times, when we see a new bundle of holding drop, you'll see like the bonus collection, right? The price that gives you everything from that bundle is normally somewhere around the price of just like the regular core book, or sometimes, the core book and an adventure, and you're getting everything in PDF. And I am talking about the price of the core book in PDF and an adventure in PDF. So pretty sweet. Kabuki Kid says that they've got the old hardcover too, and they're pretty sure it encompasses the first 5 books. That is, I think that is right. Now, I know there was a deluxe edition which collected the first 3 books, but I don't remember if that was a hardcover or not. So I don't know. All right, my final news piece that a Gray Day already knew was coming, because now available as a pay-what-you-want PDF over at DriveThru RPG, is the Terminator role-playing game Quick Start. Start getting that Terminator music in your head, because I know it's doing it for me. Da-da-da, dun, dun, dun. I better stop, otherwise I'll get a copyright flag on the video. Hey, you can't be using that music. That's from Terminator. Anyway, I've got the details from Nightfall Games. The Terminator RPG Quick Start PDF is a 44-page introduction to, what do you think? Anybody want to guess? The Terminator role-playing game, which is coming to Kickstarter in February 2021. This game is a licensed product from Studio Canal and includes content from the Terminator movie, singular, and its associated Dark Horse comics. This quick start contains 7 pre-made characters, all the essential rules required to play the game in a single scenario for a game master and up to 5 players to enjoy, with the aim of introducing a group of players to the dark, frightening, and deceitful world of the Terminator. In the Terminator RPG Quick Start, each player assumes the role of a resistance fighter. These characters, I can't believe they did that too. It's kind of like, you do know this is a drive-thru RPG where people know what role-playing games are, right? These characters are the personas that will represent the players as they play the game. This document contains 7 pre-made fighters for players to use, which can be found at the end of the book. There are a number of elements that players should know about on their character sheets, particularly the different stats, skills, and traits that each character has. Please note, this is a beta version, meaning that it's going to be updated and developed further. Updated versions are going to be uploaded to DriveThru RPG, and you'll be able to download them straight afterwards. Consider this a living and therefore changing document. Once again, the Terminator role-playing game Quick Start is pay what you want. There is a suggested price of $1 over at DriveThru RPG. So Nightfall Games is the publisher behind SLA, and they are SLA is, it's isn't it an urban, it's like a modern urban horror role-playing game. I see it mentioned a lot. I don't know a lot about it. I have no idea what mechanically it's like. For some strange reason, and I might be wrong, so somebody out there, by all means, let me know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But isn't SLA kind of a crunchy rule set? Isn't it pretty rules heavy? I might be wrong. I don't know. So Grade A is pointing out that Nightfall Games is volatile. They've been owned by several companies, and Wizards owned them for a while. I am, like I said, I'm not super familiar with them. I do, like I said, I do know that they are the folks behind SLA, but I have never seen any of their work. So a Great A says the guy who created SLA was a Magic card game designer. Oh, okay, cool. So once again, if you want to take a peek at this, you can get it for free. That's what pay what you want. I say it all the time. Just because it says something in pay what you want, the person, the publisher, the designer, the author, what have you, who makes it pay what you want, do not expect you to pay for it. They expect you to get it for free. And if out of the kindness of your heart, you would like to pay their suggested price, then by all means, please do. All right. So a Great A says that the designer worked at Cubicle 7. Well, who is it, a Great A? Tell us. Tell us who it is. I don't want to have to try to pull up Drive-Thru RPG while I'm doing the show. That's not very exciting. Yes, Melwinius. Melwinius, you're slow on the uptake, baby. I've been talking about SLA. I'm just teasing. Yes, it is actually SLA Industries, I think is the official name of the role-playing game. Of course, I am talking about Drive-Thru RPG and, of course, the Gaming Gang, thus the Dispatch, are affiliated with the One Bookshelf site. So if you are going to swing on over to good old Drive-Thru RPG, by all means, please pop over to thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our ads. Right now, we're running a tower ad. And if you do make a purchase, I get a little portion of that sale. Little bitty portion. And all those little bitty portions really do add up, and they do help keep the Gaming Gang website around. And I know a lot of people do use that, do use the links, and I really appreciate that a lot. Because about month in, month out, it will normally pay for the $64.90 hosting. I've said it before. People are like, so is your like website on GoDaddy? And it's like, no, it's not on GoDaddy. If it was on GoDaddy, it would never load up. Melodia says, lesson learned, don't start looking at the website. Just listen to Jeff. Dave Alsop. I have heard of Dave Alsop. I don't recall what he did for Cubicle 7. Maybe that's where I've met Dave. Maybe because usually when I pop over during conventions and that, and it's usually Gen Con. Rarely has Cubicle 7 been at Origins, although they were the last Origins that they held. And I tend to talk to a lot of people over at Cubicle 7 because they recognize me. So Dave was one of the founders of Cubicle 7. Huh, okay. As far as I understand now, I think the guy is Dominic. I think Dominic McDowell is pretty much the only person involved, I think. I don't know. Stuff I dive into with Dominic is more like what's going on production wise, what's in the hopper, what's cooking. I don't sit there really discussing the whole, so who are your partners in this company? I need to know. So why would I need to know that? All right. So that is it for the news tonight. Do want to mention, if you have not checked it out, I have my review for The Few and Cursed that went up last night after the show. So that is out there. I gotta say, I was disappointed with the game. You should, if you've had any interest in checking the game out, definitely give the review a peek. To be honest, I think there is a much better game buried in there. Just has to be kind of tweaked out. Some changes in that, but I discussed that as well. Tonight, as I mentioned, I will have my review for Warhammer 40K Roleplay Wrath and Glory. This is the Cubicle 7 edition that cleaned up a lot of the messiness of the Ulysses release. And I know some people out there were kind of curious why they haven't heard me talking about Ulysses. And I gotta say, they're not in contact with me anymore. So there was a huge shakeup that took place, and Wrath and Glory was kind of part of what was going on because they had opened up Ulysses North America. And, you know, I talked to some of the people who were in charge there, and I mean, they had me doing interviews at all the conventions and that. And then they were like, they had a panel, and they're like, Jeff, could you please record this panel? We'll give you a bunch of products. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then all of a sudden it just fell apart here in North America. I don't think they really have a North American branch anymore. They do have the website, and some of the people that I, worked with were gone. So I was like, I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I mean, I used to get all the info about Torg, which I think is kind of a cool system. I like the setting. I think the settings are very cool. Mechanics, I don't know. I don't hear anything about that anymore. So sorry. So Grade A says, yeah, where's that Talisman RPG? Is Pegasus going to send you a copy? Not as far as I know. Not as far as I know. I have no idea. But where is it? All right, where is it? Where did I put it? Oh, it's someplace around here. I think I showed it the other day. Oh, I must have moved it. Yeah. Come on. You guys who've seen, guys and gals, I guess I'll say, who've seen like behind the scenes of the Duct Tape Studios know that outside of this little box, it's just a mess all the time. Even after I sort everything up and move things around, it's still always a mess. I got the game is something like Navirdir, and it's about dwarves. It's you're going and you're recruiting dwarves from different taverns to battle this dragon. That's from Pegasus Spiel. They sent me that. I just got it. So that is also, I think, another game that's on the hotness list right now. So I finally got my gift from my best friend, Elliot Miller, that was mailed out on December 15th. Came today. Thankfully, he got my package that I sent. See, but I sent mine priority mail. They wouldn't let me send it retail or whatever the hell they call it, postal retail, whatever. So he got it 2 days later. He sent my package in like retail or whatever. But he sent me King of Tokyo, the Dark Edition. How about that? I know he's a big fan of King of Tokyo. I actually have King of Tokyo. I've never played it. And it's kind of funny because it's sort of like, I could do a review of it, but a lot of times people are like, why would I watch a review of a game that's like super old? Right? So it's like, So Flaming Heron says that they were looking at the difference between the different editions of Wrath and Glory, and it's a lot more than they thought. Yes. It is. Although Flaming Heron saying it's more in line with Wifrip 4th edition, that is not the case. It is still a D6 dice pool system. That has not changed. Cubicle 7 has not completely reworked the game system. But what they have done is they have cleaned it up. They made it way more accessible. There's way more background. You can also create characters without. Oh, Flaming Heron says the layout. Oh, yeah. I paged through the whole book. So if you're curious what it looks like, by all means, check it out. And I like it. I liked the original one that came out. And I say this all the time. Whenever I say it when I'm reviewing like core books, core rule books. I'm not a huge stickler on mechanics because a lot of stuff I just go, nah, I'm not a fan of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Oh, I'm going to use this from this system here. I'm going to plug that in. So I am not always, I shouldn't say not always, I'm never a fantastic source for mechanical critiques, I guess I'll say. Another review that's on the horizon, Shores of Tripoli, that's right, from Fort Circle Games, so that's coming. I've got Crystal Palace from Capstone Games. I've got the 2 releases from Hachette Games, that Quetzal, which I did a news piece about, and also Dinner in Paris. Hold on a second. Yeah, this is really heavy. This has like little plastic buildings in it, little plastic restaurants in it. So I've got these. Hopefully, I'm going to have an opportunity to play these during the holiday break, right? So because no show on Thursday. So I'm looking forward to that. Maybe I'll even get a chance to bust out some Dark Edition King of Tokyo. Nice push your luck dice game. All right. Anyway, something else I wanted to mention I thought was kind of funny. So I actually ordered last night. Yeah, I had a wave of nostalgia hit me. I placed an order for the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Edition Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, and Monster Manual. Of course, they're not. I was not going to be blowing like big bucks, so I'm sure they are probably beat to hell. I don't know. I just like, you know what? I'd like to at least just have them in the collection, just because I remember those books way back in the day, and I would just like to have them in the collection. All right. Anyway, that is it for tonight's show. I don't see anything really bouncing around in chat, except for, what's going on with the Talisman RPG? Isn't Pegasus sending you a copy? If I remember right, I'll have to look at Twitter because I think they had mentioned that they were going to send it or something. I don't know. I don't concern myself too much with that. Oh, I know one thing I was going to say. And I guess I won't reveal what the game is. But I was actually sent a copy of a game that the company wanted to do advertising. It's a Kickstarter, obviously enough. Have me do some consulting as well as shoot a preview video for them. The game arrived. I looked through it and I said, no. I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't know where anybody had an idea that they're going to launch this game. It makes Monopoly look like it's, relatively complex. So I was like, yeah, no. So, yep. I know I could have made some bucks, but I got a reputation to uphold. That's what I told them in the email. I'm like, I take it seriously. I'm not, you can't throw money at me for me to say, oh yeah, that's a good game. I like this game. This game's good. No, no, thank you. So, Flaming Heron says, nostalgia is a thing. It is. It really is. I'm just like, talking about the Bundle of Holding for Traveler. I kind of sit there thinking, I wouldn't mind having the old black box of Traveler. Even though I personally never thought that was a very well written rule system. It left, at least for me as a teenager, I had way too many unanswered questions about what the hell's going on. And I always found their adventures to be really dry. So, I don't know. Just like Twilight 2000, that's another GDW game that I am looking for. I'm pretty sure that we will have an opportunity to check that out from Free League Publishing once that comes out. I've got some other Free League Publishing stuff that I've got reviews on the horizon as well. So keep an eye out for that. So Melwinius says, looking at D&D first and second, a pricey nostalgia. So here's kind of something that was funny. Here, I'll jump back to that. Let's see. Especially the Planescape setting has insane prices for the books. Yes. Travelers sort of required the GM to do their own adventures to make it work well. That's what Kabuki Kid is saying, and I completely agree. Although, I gotta say, there were some cool adventures. It was just the way they were presented, the Game Master really had to, like, invest into it to create some pop, right? Give it a little pop there. So I was going to say, so I was up in the air. I was like, so as far as like game system wise, second edition D&D is essentially, and you may want to argue with me about this because I am certainly no expert on second edition or third or 3.5 or fourth. My experience kind of ended at first and kind of was reignited by fifth. But I was going to say, from what I have seen, second edition D&D is really just first edition cleaned up. A lot of things ironed out, but it is not radically different by any stretch of the imagination. So if I was going to run some like Osric, which is kind of the term that they use for first edition D&D, I would probably use the second edition books to do that. So anyway, so I was looking at the first edition, and what was it, like the sixth printing or something like that is when they changed the artwork on the cover. And actually the artwork was, especially in the monster manual, was better. And I thought, well, I never owned those books. Should I get those books? And I was like, no. I was like, even though they are probably in much better shape than the books that I ordered, I'm like, I want the books that I actually had, not, of course, the exact books, but I'm like, no, I want the books that the same cover artwork and stuff like that. One thing I probably will not do is I will not go after setting books or modules or like Unearthed Arcana. I never had that. I never had that book. I had the 3 core books. And as I pointed out time and time again on the show, I didn't play tons of Dungeons and Dragons or advanced Dungeons and Dragons, especially since, 81? Call of Cthulhu came out. I picked it up, and that was it. That was my game from there on out. And most of the Gamers Guild, which was my high school club that I was part of, we didn't play D&D really either. We played a lot of other stuff, but we really didn't do much D&D at all. So, yeah, so anyway, so I just thought I'd put that out there. Goofball me. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, I'll add it to the cart. Yeah, add it to the cart. The other thing, before I wrap up, I'm kicking myself because I should have actually gone and ordered the special edition that Wizards of the Coast did for the white box original D&D, where they actually had reproductions of not just the 3 books that came in the original white box, but all of the OD&D stuff that was released as the digests. I think they did new cover artwork on them. I think, once again, somebody out there is probably going to correct me if I'm wrong, but I was like, okay, cool. I was like, I should have gotten it. Yes, Kabuki Kid says the wooden box. Yeah, which I think went for what, $180, something like that. Yeah, good luck getting that. It's like I might as well just try to go buy the original white box in good condition or better, because that's about it. So Grade A says, I think that they think it was $100. Now, I think it was more than that. I think because it really was a big, like, collector's thing, because it was a wooden box, and it wasn't just the little wooden box that it, like, originally came in. It was kind of a big, impressive sort of box. Kabuki Kid can point this out, because I believe Kabuki Kid's pointing out that they bought that. And I guess, yes, I guess it did have new artwork. So Kabuki Kid says, yeah, I think 100-ish. I don't remember it being 180. I don't know. Somebody take a look over at dnd.wizards.com before I sign out here, because I could have swore it was something around like 100. The reason why I didn't get it is because it was more than $100. And I think everybody who watches this show knows that I operate the Gaming Gang, and of course all the videos and everything else, on a budget that makes a shoestring look like it's a cable holding up the Golden Gate Bridge. So a Grade A says it's 124 on Troll and Toad. Oh, okay, sold out. Oh. Yeah, I'm sure Troll and Toad had a discount to it. Yeah, I was going to say, whoa, wait a second. They've got that for 124? I would be tempted. But yeah, the reason I didn't get it is because it was more than $100. So, and I was like, oh man, that's a huge chunk. And I'm like, do I really need to get that? I mean, I had Chainmail. I think I had the first 5 books, because I had gotten, when it was a white box, white cardboard box is what I did. So Doug Roberts says, do what I did, sell the wife. I don't have a wife to sell, nor do I have children. I'd sell children easily, because I mean, if I had a wife, we could just make more, right? Like, what is it, Doritos? Eat as many as you want, they'll make more. Yeah, I could do the same with kids. You know, put them to work, right? Anyway, so I just wanted to share that, kind of get a chuckle out of that. Do also want to mention that a week from tomorrow, I will be joined. So Grade A says $149.99. Maybe that was it. And that's according to Wired. A week from tomorrow, I will be joined by Elliot Miller, my best friend, hanging out. I don't think I'm going to do any news. I think it's just going to be he and I hanging out, kind of chatting. I'm gonna see if I can make sure that he brings up chat on YouTube. Now, I don't know, because I don't watch the show on YouTube. I don't know if you can pop out the chat if you're watching the stream, because I can do it as a streamer. So, as I pointed out, I'm looking at chat right now, but I don't have the actual stream up on YouTube. So, Danny, I don't know. So Grade A says, talk about games. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, we'll talk about games. We'll talk about PC. We'll talk about old Commodore 64 games. Ah! There you go. We'll talk about games for you, Grade A. They'll just be like old games. We'll talk about the gold, what, it wasn't Gold Banner. The old D&D computer games I forget, they were like the gold. I don't remember those. I don't think they were Commodore. They weren't for Commodore, though. Those were PC. Yes, I had a Commodore 64. So Malwinius says they calm their nostalgia with astonishing swordsmen and sorcerers of Hyperborea, a hefty rulebook. I hear that's a good system if you are looking for OSR. All right. So Kabuki Kid says they didn't need that collector's edition because they already owned all those books, but they wanted it anyway. I understand that. Gold Box Games. Thank you, Kabuki Kid. I was trying to remember, what was Gold what? The SSI games. Yes, SSI did really good games. Really, really games. Oh, I guess they were on Commodore 64. Huh. So Great A says $450 to $700 for the premium white box D&D box set. And the funny thing is, you can actually get the original box set for around that price too, in pretty good condition. So to me, it's sort of like, why don't I just get the original? So, all right, everybody. We went a little longer than an hour. All right. So once again, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you subscribe, ding that bell, because it'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live, it'll also tell you when I upload other videos, such as tonight's review of Wrath and Glory. And I do have to point out, if you watch the show, please give, and you watch religiously, not that you stumbled across it one day and you're like, who's this idiot? But if you watch religiously, please give it a thumbs up, because every once in a while I'll stumble across a few people who are like, thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down. And then basically that just blows anybody seeing this video on any other video. So anyway, just a reminder. So people are talking about waiting for the 50th anniversary box set. That will be pretty cool as well. I do agree. And so, yeah, I was thinking that the other night. Well, actually yesterday, as I was going and placing the order, I was thinking, yeah, 50th anniversary is coming up soon. I wonder what they're going to do. And Malwinius says you can still get the Gold Box games on GOG.com. Yes, I did know that. All right. Anyway, for those of you out there who are watching live, thank you very much. Always appreciate you keeping me company in chat as I just blather on ridiculously. But if you are also one of those people who watches after the fact, because I know a lot of people can't kick it and watch the stream live, thank you as well for taking time out to watch. Even if you're doing it on Memorex, I really do appreciate that as well. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever day it is for you. I will be back tomorrow, wrapping up a short holiday shortened week, I should say. And of course, as I mentioned, wrapping up every video during this never-ending pandemic, I really do hope all of you out there are being smart and staying safe. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, if you'd like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel, by all means, click right here. And if you'd like to check out one of our recent live streams, click right up top. And if you want to roll the dice and see what the algorithm for YouTube recommends, click right here. And of course, thank you once again for watching. And gang, please stay safe and wear a mask.